Welcome back to Montana. I'm Tim, and this is my 2018 Chevy Silverado 2500 Duramax. It has just about 100,000 miles on it, and I'm currently in the middle of refreshing the front suspension. I'm currently waiting on some parts, so in this video, let's take a look at the tie rod ends. These are Terrain Tough Xtreme by Mevotech, but they're actually supposed to be pretty good, but here's the part number you're looking for. So the casting seems very beefy. It's got a nice coating on it, which should hold up over time in more rust-prone areas. And the joint itself is supposed to be pretty beefed up from stock. So hopefully this will last longer and deal with more punishing environments. You know, given the cost of vehicles in general, let alone a diesel, and I want to keep it longer, I figure spending just a little bit more to hopefully get something a little bit better than stock that'll last a little bit longer, or at least stand up to more punishment is well worth a few extra bucks. If you're gonna go through the time and effort of doing all this, and not to mention the expense, why not spend just a little bit extra to make sure you're getting, hopefully, quality parts. So while we're over here, I'm gonna get this tie rod open. Tie rod end, rather. Comes with new bolts, which I'm not gonna put onto the tie rod, and then it's got a Zerk fitting, and a custom and a retainer pin. It's got a protective shroud. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the Zerk fitting, get that hand tight in there. And this guy and this one's actually an 8, usually an 8. And get that on there, good and tight. It's nice it's got this little cover on here too, hopefully that'll stay on. So it is upside down in the truck, but it should be all right. Let's head on over back to the truck. So first things first, as always, let's get it cleaned up a little bit. Hopefully make our lives easier in removing this thing. I'm actually gonna get some PB Blaster. It's not really rusted, but I'm gonna get some PB Blaster anyway, just to make sure. Now, I'm not a big fan of peanut butter, but I do like the mini Reese's and Reese's Cups. And I think PB Blaster would be a good name for a peanut butter candy. I expect all royalties from anyone who does that. Okay, just get that on the threads just so it breaks loose. The other side broke loose easy, so I'm not really worried about this truck. It did take me an impact to get this guy off, and it's a 21. I'm just gonna break it loose. I'm not gonna knock it out yet because we still have to loosen the retainer nut, whatever you call it, lock nut. So let's see if we can loosen this. Oh, psh, nothing. It's nothing. She was easy. All right. Is this guy 24? Yeah, 24. So I'm just gonna break it free over here. We don't want to back it off because this is part of our alignment, part of the toe adjustment. So don't want to take this too far out. I'm just gonna do it just enough to unlock it, and then by the time we get the new tie rod end in, we can just tighten it that quarter turn, whatever it takes to get off there. Fortunately, I have to pull up. Okay, got it. Ow. Okay. That should be enough to be able to get this guy off. You know, you can mark this as well. Not terribly concerned about that right now. Let's get the rest of this guy off here. Yeah, this side was much easier than the other side. All right. Don't need that, but I will hold on to it. Now again, because I do not care about this tie rod end, and I'm not worried about mushrooming it out and not fitting through the hole, this is actually smaller than the threads. I'm just gonna wail on it here. I'm not gonna get fancy with the pickle fork. I'm not gonna get fancy knocking on the side or heating it up. Just gonna hit here without hitting the rotor. Or I could just miss completely because I'm not lefty. Let's see. Lift up a little bit too, give us some more leverage. Okay. There we go. Now we can move this out of the way. Try and keep the steering bar upright so we don't mess that up. And just unscrew this. Probably could put a little anti-seize on threads, but I'm not terribly concerned. If you live in a rust area, definitely put some anti-seize on there. A lot of threads in this bad boy. All right.
Let's just try and clean these up a little bit. Definitely don't want to move that nut either, so that'll throw us out of alignment. All right. Now you always want to compare parts, make sure they're the same length. You know, if these weren't the same length, you'd want to adjust that nut enough to get you back, and they're the same length here at the top. Let's see once the pins are in the middle. Are they? They're close. They might be like a... This guy might be a little bit longer. I was looking at the bench yesterday. It didn't seem like that far out. They're probably close enough for our intents and purposes anyway. Ideally, you're going to get alignment anyway. So, as they say in the manuals, installation is the reverse of removal. So, we will now do the reverse of the removal. And just thread this on. Careful not to cross thread. If it even gets on there. Okay, there we go. The theory is once this gets down to the nut and is upright, it'll be in the right spot to tighten the nut. All right, so if we did that, it would be locked, and that might be enough. Yeah, because that's probably too much. So this will be good here. We'll get it reinserted. All right, got a little gunk on the thread, so we'll try and get that off. Looking good. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Go on your castle nut and this weird retaining pin. And we're just gonna thread this guy on. Give her some duck-a-ducks. Slowly at first so we don't mess anything up. Try and get that hole lined up. Where's that hole? It's in the front. Yep. That's good. Find this retaining pin. I'm probably bending this thing wrong. I've never seen a pin like this before. But at least if you push it in, it clips around part of the castle. I'm just gonna bend this one this way. That's right. Let's start it. Just want to try and bend that side of the clip back a little bit more. Make us all happy. There we go. That's not going anywhere. So now this is on. We'll tighten it up. It's always confusing which way is tight when you're looking at it backwards. Which is the opposite. There we go. I think we're pretty close to where we were.
So if this video helped you out, which I hope it did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Feel free to comment below. Whenever I'm online with this username, I try and respond to comments. But as you can see, I've got quite a mess going on here that needs to be attended to, so I'm gonna get to that. But until next time, may God bless you and keep standing up for what's right.